Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. No. Sometimes I forget that this chair is missing a wheel. I was really frustrated one day. Came walking in here and just beat the crap out of my chair. I just, well, I didn't beat the crap out of it. I hit it and it lost a leg. I'm gonna hold on to the chair because it'll remind me not to fuck my shit up anymore. And I forgive myself for it too. Sure, I did. Hello, hello. I really do truly wish I had the answers for all of life's problems, man. I wish I did. Just so I could help more. Just so I could be a better person. So I could, you know, you can't hear me. Can you hear me, Leisure? Should be, yeah, there shouldn't be a problem. Let me write in chat for her. Ugh. Ah. Um, you should be able to hear me. Yeah, there's one way for me to figure this out real quick on whether it's coming through or not. Yep, it's coming through. So, okay. Um, let's see here. Let me get to chat real quick. Try leaving and coming back. All right. Yeah, I hear you, Amber, and I certainly agree on that. I agree. If I had all the answers, wouldn't I be? I'd be perfect, and I'd be out of here. I wouldn't be here anymore. I'd be gone because God be like, oh, he got all the answers. Well, fine, he can come up here and run shit. I need a day off. All right. But no, sometimes I do. I do wish that I had more answers. The thing is, I can't. There's a song by Stabbing Westward, and it's the name of the song is called "Save Yourself," right? Because, and he says you need to save yourself because I can't even save me. You know, so you're absolutely right. Me saying that is kind of codependent, not kind of very, very codependent. Right? It can be. So, yeah. Guess I could have should have kept my mouth shut on that one, huh? Welcome, Daily Trudge. Oh, do not. It was on Do Not Disturb. Yes, that will do it. That'll cut your sound all right. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Now, just a short month ago, Michelle, you wouldn't be able to figure out any of that. And look at you, a month later, muting yourself in the meetings and stuff. Now you've made progress. Good job. Good job, man. Sometimes we just need to put effort into these things that, you know, I mean, I could sit here and say that I don't understand technology, but at the same time, did I try and put in any effort? I mean, and some of it does confuse me. I will admit it. Try putting together a web page now. It was actually easier to do a web page when I could just write DOS, honestly, because I knew how to write DOS. But like I used to put in big old phone switches. I started building computers when I was younger. So if we just take a little time when it comes to electronics to maybe look at it and be like, okay, what's the simplest answer? Okay, first, is it plugged in? A lot of times that's the problem, that the cord isn't all the way plugged into the back of the computer, something like that. It's usually Um, last night it doesn't matter, but something wasn't the circle button on my wife's phone wasn't working. I'm like, restart your phone. When was the last time you started the phone? Well, like a month ago. Well, restart your phone. Should restart your phone like once a week. Okay. When you restart something, like sometimes my PlayStation will start to screw up. I don't restart it. I turn it off for 5 minutes because a lot of electronics have what is called in internal power, and even though it's not on, it's still on. You can anyway. That has nothing to do with self forgiveness. Just some things that I know. Look at me, I'm so smart. See how my computer doesn't work. Okay. Should we start the darn thing? All right, this can't be more than like 20-25 minutes because I have that therapy. It's weird because I enjoy therapy, but sometimes I do, even when I do things that I enjoy and I kind of want to do, there's a part of me that doesn't want to. All right. Well, there you go. Just like recovery, the problems and solutions were all right in front of me. Yeah. So, self forgiveness. I believe, and it's been my experience, and your experience might be different. That's okay too. We're going to have different experiences probably on this one. I found that I couldn't really go around forgiving other people until I'd forgiven myself first. And even then, the process of forgiveness, there's a process of forgiveness, but if I really, and I'm going to take a different view here, can I even really forgive people? Is it my job to forgive people, or is it God's job to forgive people? Because when I'm asking for forgiveness, who am I asking? If I'm doing self forgiveness, who am I asking forgiveness from? Me? Doesn't that sound kind of selfish? Oh, I forgive myself. I mean, and I get it. It's true. I mean, and it is true that we are forgiving ourselves. But did you do it out loud? Was it one of those? Was it one of those? Were you on your fifth step? Did you do your fifth step and include yourself and how much you didn't like yourself? I did. I did, because there's a process of forgiveness there. And at the end, I'm going to have to forgive myself. And I do this with my sponsees. As soon as we're done with the fifth step, the first thing that we do is forgive ourselves. And we say it out loud. It feels silly. Okay? If I accidentally call myself a name, I will 10 step shit that I do to myself. Right? Now. All right. I always like I'm really big on the AI overviews lately. They just kind of help me bring stuff together, right? So to forgive yourself, you need to acknowledge your mistakes. So number one, we need to get down to those causes and conditions, right? This is very much a fourth and fifth step talk, most likely. You know, um, you have to acknowledge the mistakes. Yeah. Hey, Sam, good to see you, man. Sam's going to tell his story on Thursday. It'll be good to have you, brother. Found out it was a tough task to forgive people for a bunch of shit they didn't do to me. Probably didn't even consider any of their choices, right? Michelle says, I was told to find a picture of me when I was the happiest. I have two, age 5 and 7. I apologized to little Michelle, and then I forgave me like I would a friend. There you go. That's a great process. That's a good process of doing it. All right. So acknowledge your mistake, accept responsibility for your actions. Did I willingly put that alcohol down my throat? Yes, I did. Nobody ever held me down and made me drink. Ever. Nobody ever did that to me. Okay. Maybe it happened with somebody else, so I've got to stick in my own experience with that. Okay. But I probably find that most people didn't. Well, they pressured me into it. Still, you made the choice. And sometimes making no choice is a choice, not standing up for yourself, right? Um, but I also get the peer pressure. I understand it. Um, Peer pressure I did a lot of things because of peer pressure, but I did a lot of things. Um, there you go. Leisure says my own name appeared in the entire last column of my 4-step. It's a good joke too. Yes, it would be fun on Thursday, man. Um, getting back to some podcasting. It's gonna be fun, man. I've asked a couple other people that haven't really said anything, but I'm gonna tell you something now. That's their loss. It's their loss. Um, anyway, all right. Learn from the experience. All right. I'll be, and we can't think of it this way. Oh, I fucked up. No, we can't go down that road anymore. The I fucked up. I mean, I made him. There's a difference between I've made a mistake and I fucked up. Okay, that one word, that swear word that we put in there, it has a lot of connotation in it. Okay, because in a sense, if I say I fucked up, I'm kind of calling myself names. If I said, okay, I made a mistake because I am human. Okay, and how often do I make mistakes here? All the time, all the time. I'll go run off crying. I admit it immediately. And then what do? Well, I forgive myself. I make whatever amends if I need to, if I have to, and then I move on. Because I learned from it. I learned from it, right? But the key to self-forgiveness is we've got to acknowledge the past first. We have to settle the debt of the past. That was my experience. Once I did that, then I was able to forgive myself. The amount of freedom I felt was, because every step gives you a certain amount of freedom. My big freedom was in step 5, when I was finally free of all of my derelictions. Now, I do not live in my past anymore, but I am willing to revisit it if I need to. And that is where we get to go to. It's a saving grace, man. It is a saving grace. Um, Learn from the experience. Treat yourself with compassion. Just be nice to yourself, for God's sakes. If there's one person in this world that beats me up, it's me. Right? Let's put it this way. And because you kind of get to a point, if somebody talked to you the way that you talk to you, would you be okay with it? Then you shouldn't be okay with you talking to you that way. No, you shouldn't. Right? Sometimes I'll hear one of my friends, go, "Oh God, I'm an idiot." I say, don't talk to my friends like that. Okay. And what I'm saying is, don't talk to yourself like that, not in front of me, because I don't believe that. I don't see that. That is something that was stuck in your head for years and years. Because if you tell yourself something over and over and over and over again, and you live in it, you will become it. Okay. You will become that. And that includes the opposite of saying good things to ourselves. Isn't it so much easier to call myself a fuckhead than a beautiful, beautiful person? Not anymore. Not anymore. I was being and I am are different. You're such a dork. Treat yourself with compassion and actively choose to let go of guilt and self blame. Yeah, screw guilt, man. Guilt guilt doesn't do anything. There is no such thing as good guilt. That doesn't exist. I know I use a lot of variables here, where we're not like consequences. Consequences is I take it bad because all of my consequences have been bad. Right? That's so I always took consequences as a bad thing, but it's not. you can create good consequences. It's about being proactive in the right place. And I'm going to be proactive either in a positive or a negative way. I was being a jerk or I am a jerk. See, I'm not always a jerk. Yeah, it's wordplay. It is. You're not wrong. I'm not always a jerk. How about not even saying that at all? Because every single one of those ways, even though you wordplay it, says, like, I am sick. I'm not feeling well. Guess what? You're not. I am not. Okay. So, but I hear what you're saying on that. Yeah, I agree with it. We've been programmed that way. Well, that's because the positive side or the right side involves the truth. Listen to people in everyday life. It's always easier for people to focus on the negative. Even now, it's easier for me to go to that negative part, right? There are sometimes where I have to stop and be like, oh, wait a minute, maybe that's not a route I want to go. Maybe that's not a way that I need to go, right? So happens to me too. But yeah, I don't know why that is, right? So let's talk. So acknowledge your feelings. Be honest with yourself about your emotions, including guilt and shame related to the situation. Yeah, this is a great place to use I statements. I feel this way. I feel that way. Yes, people are more likely to write a bad review. Oops, I almost blocked you on YouTube. No, no, no. Just get rid of that. There we go. Whew, that was close. People are more likely to write a bad review than a good review. Yep. Because people will just assume that you have good service. Absolutely. All right. And it's going to take 10 people to replace that one bad review. Right. I was in sales long enough to know that one. But be honest with yourself and with your feelings. If you're not sure on that, talk to somebody else, man. Talk to a therapist. Talk to somebody that understands feelings or that knows you best. You know, yeah, Dion, I know, but I know you better than that. And that's just not a route that you go. Okay, well, I didn't think of that. Get a different perception and be honest with them what you're going through, right? Take responsibility, accept that you made a mistake and understand the impact of your yeah, work a day in the service industry. Yeah. Go be a bartender for a night. Yeah, you'll hear it. You'll fucking hear it, that's for sure. By services industry, that means, waiters, waitress, bartenders, cooks, things like that. Or service industry where we'd be like, go, this is probably bad of me, but I'm gonna go ahead and admit it. So I've been seeing these videos, right, where they're like, they're talking about alcoholism and hey, and yeah, here I am in Cabo San Lucas coming to you from da da da. And if you need help, we understand. Please reach out. And I've been writing, if you really wanted to help, why don't you go help somebody at detox instead of making videos about it? It's truth. It's truth. Right. Same could be said for me, right? I'm sitting here making a video talking about videos, right? Camera keeps going out. Getting tired of that. So take responsibility. Hey, I did this. Yep, I did it. You know. Yeah, they say that the truth is always going to be easier for you. That's true. You know that the consequence there's the consequence of the lie or the dishonest action, and then there's the consequences that go on with the continued action towards that. So now you're doubling your bad consequences every time you reinforce something bad. No, I didn't do that. When you did it, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Right? But there might be a fear. I remember one time I had accidentally made a hole in the I made a hole in the closet door in the house where I grew up. My dad was pissed. He was pissed. He helped three of the boys together there. Of course, my brothers ended up snitching on me because, well, they're snitches. Um, right. But he had a bat in his fucking hand and he's hitting the door, telling somebody to take responsibility for it. You think at that moment I was going to say something? Fuck no. I was scared out of my mind. I thought he was going to beat the fuck out of me with that bat. It's not a good way to teach. I don't know why that popped into my head, but it did. I took responsibility for it and I got my ass beat. Sam says, making mistakes happen when our intention was pure, even though the mistake happens. I fucked up every time I reacted, and out of fear, I took action knowing it was harmful. Yeah. See, that's the hard part sometimes, that now that we know better, we can't use that. We can't use that being naive as an excuse anymore, can we? Hey, the comfort in being naive and just being there playing stupid, right? But you're an alcoholic, and I know better than that. Learn from the experience, analyze what led to the mistake. There you go. Now what are we doing? This is prevention, right? And it may even happen again, but you're going to get better at it. And if you can acknowledge it, okay, I see where I did that. I see what led up to that. Well, now I can, it's like, okay, I really want to drink, so I'm going to go hang out in a bar and hope I don't. We know what's going to happen. Right? See, I set myself up to fail, but we can set ourselves up to succeed too, even while being wrong. Okay. And when we take responsibility, we are not saying sorry. We are making an amends. We are bringing it to justice. Yes, I did that. I reacted because I saw this and I shouldn't have. Okay. It can't be I reacted because you did this. No, that's not going to work. It may even be the truth. But if I admit my side, then the other person's most likely to admit their side. Now what have I done? Now what have I done? Well, I've created something, an energy between me and that person that's going to build on trust. And that is a beautiful thing. You can be wrong and be a good example at the same time. Yes, you can. We do it all the time, especially in meetings. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness. If you're tired, go lay down, man. If you're hungry, eat a fucking Snickers. But take care of you first. Hey, you have got to come first. So wait a minute, Dion, that's what I did before. People always, I hear this quite a, what are you doing to take care of yourself? The fuck, I get it. I understand. But what you just said is I'm not taking care of myself. That otherwise, why would you ask the darn question? I do a lot to take care of myself. Probably too much. Probably too much, man. Like you need to take a break. Like, do you need to go live so many times a day? Yes, I do. I don't understand the problem. Sometimes I go live once a day. Sometimes it might be 4. There's reasons for every single one of those things. If you go look at my calendar here, look at my calendar. Let's do that. I'll kind of give you an example. All right. So here is my calendar. Okay. As you can see, there's nothing on it. I have a couple of meetings, all right, doctor's appointment. This is one that I do all the time. This is passy, but there's nothing on it. Look, these days are empty. Look at all these empty days. But yet I'm always busy. I'm doing something. I'm doing something at all times. All right. I need to feel useful. It's what I do for myself because I felt useless most of my life. So I'm trying to be more useful. Sam says, more accurate, fucking up was a self-shaming outlook. Yes, that was taught to you as a child. I know damn well I wasn't looking for a different result. I was looking to have any delusion be found out, incapable of honest. Yep. So, and incapable of being honest, we call that being constitutionally incapable, which is a fancy way of saying denial. Yeah. But once we see past that denial, that's when this program will fuck your drinking career up. It'll fuck it up. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So, challenge. I like this one. Challenge negative self-talk. Replace harsh inner criticism with more supportive thoughts. Now, we kind of grew up with some of this in the 90s, right? The affirmation guy on SNL, and it's corny. It can be corny and it's kind of funny, okay? But there's nothing wrong with giving yourself a little bit of encouragement. Yeah, you know. Yep, Michelle, that's exactly what it is. The feeling of uselessness and self-pity will leave us. Yeah. It's not very often. It is a pretty bad day indeed when I feel useless. And that usually has to actually do with my depression. Doesn't really have to do with everyday life. Right. So challenge that negative, you know, if you call yourself a name, apologize to yourself. Ask yourself questions like, do I really mean that? And it isn't just inside just about yourself, but seeing other people. Oh, look at that fat motherfucker. Huh. Are you sure you ain't talking to yourself? You spot it, you got it kind of thing, right? So replace that harsh inner criticism with more supportive thought. Make amends if possible. What we're talking about you is perfectly possible to do. And you say it out loud. Just like, remember the fifth step. We were just going to talk about this in the meeting. The fifth step's no good until you run your mouth. It's no good. Otherwise, it's just on paper. I can admit a lot of things to God in my head, but it's until I say it out loud that it actually matters. Now, you don't have to go look at yourself in the mirror or anything else, but, Dion, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that to you, man. I'll do my best not to treat you that way. What that does, it just reinforces because I fucked it up and fuck. Oh, shit. See, now I'm going straight into anxiety and my words are going to support it. And if I do that, I will go there. Oh, Dion, you dumbass. Oh, wait. No. We don't talk to ourselves like that. Nope. Nope. Sometimes, in the beginning, I would like cut myself down. My wife would be like, what? I'm like, no, I'm apologizing to myself right now. Okay. If your actions harm someone else, considering apologize or taking steps to rectify the situation. Seek support. Talk to somebody else about it. A closed mouth friend. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. There's a couple of important points to remember. Forgiveness is a process. Yes, it does not happen. It is not a one and done. No, it should continue for a lifetime. All right, because it isn't just about once I can forgive myself and I have self-forgiveness, now I can start to see where other people might be. All right, I might see where other people might be. It takes time and effort, a lot of effort for me. It took a lot of effort. In fact, it took all the willpower that I had to cut off those faulty dependencies. Because we're talking about self-forgiveness, right? But go read Emotional Sobriety. Go read that, and it will fit with this. And don't minimize your actions. Accepting responsibility doesn't mean excusing your behavior. And this works both ways. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. So, you know, and it hasn't happened in a while. you know, the thing is sometimes I wonder how many people I'm actually helping because I make the mistake of seeing somebody else doing something and then comparing by how many comments and shares and stuff they got. I'm like, man, that shit just never happens to me. Well, somebody just sent something to me. A friend just sent something to me. And here, I'm just going to grab it real quick and read it to you. God has removed you from a table where you used to sit in order to save you from a host who was serving you poison. Yeah, happens often, man. Happens all the time. All right. Got a couple more comments here. I reflect. Sam says, I reflect on tangible achievements from the day. Feeling useless is very far from being useless. Yeah, what he's saying is the feeling of useless is not a fact. That's what he's saying. Good catch, Sam. We can always make it pretty black and white if necessary. Being really depressed is a gift today. Yeah, and it's a gift because you get to do something about it. You get to show other people in your life that you can overcome these things, that you don't need to be. See, depression is just a tag, okay? It is just it's something to let you know what you have so you can do something about it. All right. Leisure says the typical egomaniac with an inferiority complex. Pretty much. All right. And here, of course, the best one is to focus on the present and future. Don't live in the past, but don't shut the door on it either. We do not live there anymore. We don't need to live there anymore. What you have is now. And there's more power in the now than there ever was in the past or will be in the future because you ain't there. While acknowledging the past, don't dwell on it. Instead, focus on how you can grow and move forward. Right? And there's a lot of great things in that big book that'll tell you how to do it. So, all right, I got 13 minutes until therapy, and I always like to take a little bit of time for myself while before I do this stuff. So, a lot of great talk here today. A lot of great chat, man. Uh, as always, we get to laugh a little bit here. We get to have a little bit of fun too. So, um, right on. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.